Howdy folks, I'm Bad Black Ice, brazenly betraying boisterous boys.
I'm Amber.
And here are more boisterous boys for us to betray. They thought that we were just plain tarmac, and we weren't, and so they slipped and fell, and they landed on their bums. And so that's why we betrayed them. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Treating My Kids Differently Due to Their Own Decisions? Having a disagreement with my wife. Kid 1 is a 19-year-old male, and he saves money, and I've been teaching him about investing, and he's very interested. Kid 2 is a 17-year-old male, saves no money from doing the exact same work during the same period, and spends it all on friends despite my guidance, cares little about saving or investing. Kid 3, a 14-year-old female, just started working this year and has 7 times more money than Kid 2, which was a pleasant surprise to me the way that she has taken responsibility and has taken an interest in investing. They have all held the exact same summer job, except Kid 1 is now old enough to legally work as an adult, so he can work during the school year. With Kid 1, I sold him a car for $5,000, which he paid for in cash. Car was worth around $9,000. I tried giving him my old stick shift, but he didn't like it and wanted a bigger car. And I let him make the decisions, so I sold him our other car. Well, that car had a major breakdown within 6 months of him giving us $5,000. So, in an effort to make things right, I bought it back from him, and we agreed to use it to put a down payment on a RAV4. I also cover one half of the payment, but he pays the insurance and 50% of the loan payment. With Kid 3, we are looking to set up a child investing account, and I've also borrowed money from her, and I am paying it back in interest. Her bank account doesn't have access to CDs or lightweight investments, so I set up the bank of Daddy and pay her interest. With Kid 2, I've attempted to correct bad spending behaviors that he has. He has next to nothing money, and I mean, they've all gotten the same talks, the same education, and the same offers of help. But I don't control what they actually do with their money. So he hangs out with his friends and likes to throw money around, which at his age is a huge red flag for me. But it doesn't limit what I can actually do with him right now. And at his age, Kid 1 has nearly $10,000 to his name. My wife has noticed the dealings that I've had with each of the kids, and somehow thinks that I need to correct the situation so that Kid 2 can feel more included. However, in my view, I am doing the exact same thing with them all. They're all included and only limited by their own decisions. He's upset that he doesn't have any money, but he also gets upset when I tell him why ordering $60 worth of Wendy's for 2 people through DoorDash is a terrible idea. I know that there's things that I could do to quote-unquote make him happy, but the most important part of financial education is teaching discipline, which won't be learned by bailing him out of his decisions. Edit, I did not say that in the original post I needed to borrow money from my daughter. If you read the entire sentence, I explained what I was doing, acting as a bank. Edit, the focus of my post was on the difficulty between me and my wife and her perception of how I was handling it. I did not indicate that me and Kid 2 have some sort of contemptuous relationship. There is plenty that we have in common and do together. No, he doesn't have ADHD, and no, we/I don't disclude him. And yes, making stuff up about us is on you. The people who are asking questions are great. The people hurling darts are just keyboard warriors looking for the worst in people. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think OP is wrong for the approach of giving kids the things equally. I do think it's important to teach financial responsibility, and if you just bail the one kid out while the kids who are being financially savvy suffer, that's not cool. Now, granted, maybe OP could sit down with Son 2 and work out a budget, help him figure out how to better allocate his funds so he still gets to have fun with his friends, but also has money going into savings.
Oh yeah, well, budgets are really difficult, and I think that there are a lot of techniques that you can learn to budget and whatnot, and maybe if he had a goal of what he wanted to spend his money on, or if OP kind of helped him outline how money gets spent or how investing works, he might be a little more interested in it. But this does seem like it needs to be a hard lesson for him to learn. I really don't have a problem with how OP is handling the situation, and I do think that they bring up a lot of good points, that if this was if OP just came in there and bailed him out and gave him $10,000, what is he going to do with that money? He's going to spend it, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to have any money, and then he's going to complain about how he doesn't have any money,
Yeah,
right?
rinse and repeat, right?
So I do think like teaching him budgeting would be a really good idea. And it does sound like OP has sat down with all three of them
Mm-hmm.
and been like, hey, this is how you budget, this is how you invest. That sounds like OP's actually being a really good parent and really involved with all three of his children.
Yeah, but it may be that, the second child needs a little more like guidance and hand
Mm-hmm.
holding to get there. And so, like, I think do not give the kid more material resources than his siblings,
Yeah.
but maybe giving him a little more time to like track the spending and see where it went to and like maybe come up with a budget together.
Yeah.
That might help.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Is that there's a way to budget and he needs to learn how to budget. And I think that's really what it boils down to. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Infinite Mark 5208 says, as a teacher, you learn that there are different learning styles. You need to acknowledge that your second child has a different learning style and adjust accordingly. And OP replies, I certainly agree with that. There have been some great suggestions here to improve and better incentivize saving. I don't really see any major red flags that can be overcome. And somewhat bougie auntie says, not the jerk, you're doing a great job of teaching your children financial responsibility. We are doing something similar with our son. Your 14-year-old will come around eventually. It's better that he learns the hard way and feel the consequences now while he is young and has a safety net than later. Keep modeling good financial decision making. And OP replies, thanks, I appreciate it. And Original Aqua Woman says, you're giving money to two of your kids and not the third because you don't like what he's doing. You are definitely the controlling jerk. Hope you are ready for him to go no contact eventually. And OP replies, I did not give money to any of my kids. False narrative. Learn to read. And Original Aquawoman replies, I also cover one half of the car payment for kid 1 and pay interest to the kid 3 on a pretend loan that you only took out to be able to pay interest to her, which I last checked is money. And OP replies, I'm not giving them money is an accurate statement. I will also help when kid 2 is ready for a car, but it's not a pretend loan, it's effectively a CD with an amortization schedule that pays out interest. And I'm not just giving her money, she is earning it. The same was offered to kid 2 before he spent all of his money. I think that's important for OP to say is that he has offered these same kind of financial tools
Mm-hmm.
and will offer the same kind of financial incentives for the second kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Remote Passenger 7880 says, info, what exactly has your wife suggested in order to correct the situation? Surely if she thinks that correction is possible, she has a suggestion on tactics. And Obi replies, in the past, it was lending him money. Now that he has no income from summer work, probably just giving it to him. She doesn't really have any suggestions, just that it seems unfair. Yeah, but that doesn't really change the situation, how it would be unfair to the other kids if
Right.
OP were just to give him money.
And it doesn't help him in the long term either because someday the bank of dad isn't going to be there and he's going to need to be able to budget on his own.
And Remote Passenger 7880 says, how does giving him money correct the situation though? All that does is show the other kids that the one that isn't responsible will be treated as the favorite. The responsible child will effectively be punished for being responsible. How is that fair? And OP replies, I agree, but I don't think that I'm going to get my wife to take that hard line completely. She grew up with her parents literally bailing her brother out of every bad decision he made. So even though she sees what's wrong with it, it's hard for her not to feel like she's abandoning him. Might be a good idea for her to go into therapy and, maybe
Mm-hmm.
even them to go into couples therapy so they can kind of talk these issues out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Buying My Daughter a New iPhone and a MacBook? For years, our family tech was a mess. Android phones, Windows laptops, Google accounts, and random apps that never talked to each other. The Wi-Fi would go weird, and I would have to hire someone to come and fix it because I honestly don't know what I'm doing. The TV would lag when we tried to show the screen from a laptop, and I had no idea why. I'm not tech savvy at all. I just wanted things that actually work without me calling people every month. Over the last few months, I switched almost everyone to an Apple. My wife and my son, who is 16, both have iPhones and MacBooks, and they love them. Everything just works. I can see everyone's phone in the locator and the photos and messages in sync. I pay for the Wi-Fi and the phone bill in the house, so I figured it makes sense to get all these things on one system that works. My daughter, who just turned 14, was the last holdout. She had a Lenovo P1 Gen 8 laptop and an Android phone. She is really into tinkering and had put something called Arch Linux on the laptop and something called Graphene on her phone. None of it worked with our family stuff. She wouldn't use iMessenger or WhatsApp or anything normal, so I had to get Signal just for her. Also, the tracking stuff never worked, so if she ever lost her phone, we couldn't even find it. So for her birthday, I traded her Android and her Lenovo and got her a MacBook Air and an iPhone SE. Not the newest model, but both brand new and honestly just way nicer. She had backups, so she wouldn't lose any files. I really thought that she would be happy. She got better products. She was furious. She said that I basically stole her computer because she bought it herself very recently with her allowance and doing website jobs for relatives, though she had traded in a laptop that I had bought to get it. She said that the point isn't just her files, it's that she can't put her Linux stuff on a Mac because they are too locked down and secure. She is really mad about the laptop in particular and refuses to use iMessenger or iCloud and says that I forced her into an ecosystem that she didn't want, though I'm sure she will eventually. She also complains about silly things like the interface when hers was way worse than even Windows. Like she'll say the menu bar on the Apple is terrible, and makes up stuff like the MacBook looking more blurry on her 4K monitor and giving her a headache when it looks fine to me. If anything, it's the PC stuff that has more issues. I have not noticed any problems on either my old monitor and the new Apple Studio I got. My wife says that I should have asked her first. I get that she is upset, but I thought that I was doing the right thing. Everything works together now and is more secure, and I pay for the Wi-Fi and the phone bills anyways. Am I the jerk for giving her the new stuff as a surprise and trading in her old gear without asking? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, OP, you are a major jerk. This is not a birthday gift. You've taken away something very valuable to her. You've taken away her ability to have the environment that she wants.
Mm-hmm.
If someone were to take my computer and my phone and trade them in for Mac products, I would be furious. Different people have different preferences about what ecosystem they like the best. And anytime my mom needs help with her Mac, it just drives me up a wall because I just cannot with them. So I feel really bad for the daughter. Now, she probably is exaggerating some of those things, like kids we'll get frustrated. I know when I get frustrated, the tiniest little thing seems a million times worse.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't necessarily mean there's something functionally wrong, but it's not the right product for her. And so you absolutely should not have traded in her old stuff.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, this is not a present. This was a horrible mishap, and you should see if you can get her old stuff back.
Yeah, it would be good if OP could go and see if they can get the stuff back, because I think that's really what would make the daughter happy here. I don't know if it's possible, but I mean, I'm sure it isn't the first time that they've had somebody who says that they don't want to trade back. They want to trade back, right? I don't know. I think that the daughter seems like she's really tech savvy,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, if her computer was causing them Wi-Fi issues and was crashing the network and stuff like that, then I could see OP being upset. Or if she was constantly going to OP and asking for help and trying to get tech support from OP,
Mm-hmm.
and OP just couldn't support them, then I mean, I could understand that a little bit more as well, and to say, look, I can't do tech support for you because I don't know your system. But it doesn't seem like her computer or her phone were causing any issues. He just didn't like the fact that she wasn't on the same ecosystem as
Right.
them, right?
He didn't understand her system, and he wanted everything to match.
Yeah.
And, your desire to have everything match does not trump her desire to have a ecosystem that she enjoys.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Future villain origin story.
I mean, I feel it.
Yeah, I do. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, I am a 28-year-old female and my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, has very weird gift preferences. My boyfriend of 2 years has been amazing in every way, but I feel like it's hopeless when it comes to me trying to be romantic and buying gifts for him. When it comes to holidays and birthdays, he buys me very romantic things like flowers, fancy dinners out, experiences like a spa day, and other things that I think are normal gifts. When it comes to me buying him gifts, he has a strict thing where he just tells me ahead of time to buy this because he wants it. I get that it's fine since he wants to make sure that I'm getting something that he likes, but the gifts that he asks for are very weird. For example, one time he suggested a gift of a drill kit because his current one was wearing out. Another time he just wanted a case of a specific brand of beer. And the last time, which was his birthday, he wanted to buy some vinyl flooring to replace a couple of broken planks, and we went together so I would pick out the right one. Yep, his birthday present from me was a case of vinyl flooring, which he seemed happy to install and then send me a picture right after. Lol. Can the guys here tell me more about this strange preference? I asked a couple of guy friends, and they actually chuckled and said it's pretty legit. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I understand OP's pain here, but it's just how he is. You
Yeah.
just have to kind of accept that he knows what he wants and he communicates it and he's happy.
Yeah.
Gifts are about the recipient. They're not about what makes you feel good for giving them out. So I get the disappointment of being like, oh, well, I can't do something grand and romantic for him, but this is the thing he really wants. And ultimately, what's more romantic than giving your partner the perfect gift they've been dreaming of?
Yeah. Well, and I don't think that OP has to stop here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they want to get him something else, right? They can try to find another gift that they think that he'll like, right? But it might be one of these things where she has to really pay close attention to, the situation. He probably would appreciate whatever she gave him. And, as I just think that this is a challenging situation. And I know that she is really having a hard time with this, but I think that he is communicating very clearly what he wants. And I think that she should just listen to that,
Yeah, well, and it may be like if you want to do something extra, instead of trying to find something material, make him a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Or, if he has a hobby, like if you both like walking or watching a particular movie or something, set up a movie date night. Like there's a number of ways you could give him a gift that's more sentimental to you that he will enjoy, but isn't like monetary.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Which fruit do scarecrows prefer?
Probably pumpkins, because that's usually what their head is made up of. And I would be pretty unhappy if I were a scarecrow without a pumpkin head.
Strawberries.
Oh.
And it's National Parfait Day.
Oh, so go find a parfait, preferably without actual straw in it.
Yeah.
And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy terrific Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on gifts and money.
Gifts should be focused on what the recipient would want and not what the giver would want.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.